Ain't no pleasure without pain, or love without heartbreak. Perspective, reflection, say. When we were young, forever seemed the longest time. To our naive tongues and the trust in our hope-filled eyes. For all my days, for all my days. Now that I've got your life, I won't let it go to waste. Time was told me we're scared the most of these things we can't control. No, oh, understand the folly of our own. That we dwell on our mistakes, chances we're too afraid to take. They take their toll. Intellect won't save the soul. Indifference or choice, you know. Let me in your mother's made in white, in your father's eyes, oh blue as the southern sky. And when I die, when I'm dead and gone, turn to the dust and dirt where I belong. Pray my love will linger on. Pray my love will linger on. So let me in your mother's made in white, in your father's eyes, oh blue as the southern sky. And when I die, when I'm dead and gone, turn to the dust and dirt where I belong. Pray my love will linger on. Pray my love will linger on. For all my days, for all my days. Now that I've got your love, I won't let it go to waste. For all my days, for all my days, I pray my love won't go to waste. Come time I meet my resting place.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Innovation and Digitalization in the Tourism Sector event, thematic lectures we have prepared today. We're trying to do our best to have useful information for you on the national level, on the regional level, and of course also on the level of companies. It means information that could be very useful for each of the participants. We have selected 3 topics today. The first one will be on the digital transformation strategy for Slovenian tourism in the 2022-2026 time period. Then we will continue with analysis of data for regional tourism development and the tourism industry. And the third topics will be the B2B and B2C promotion and management of cyclo-tourism with e-bikes. Also very interesting and very pragmatic information we would like to deliver to you. First of all, we would like to start with our first speaker. I would like to welcome Mrs. Aleksandra Jerebic Topolovec she's currently the head of the content digital marketing sector at the Slovenian Tourism Board, which promotes Slovenia and its destination on the foreign markets. She's been working in the field of content digital marketing for almost, we could say, 20 years and has always been involved in the development of digital solutions. So I think she can give us or provide us a very useful information on this. And it's also important information that she is also the curator of the official Slovenian tourism portal. Mrs. Jerebic Topolovec will come to the event. And please, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I will share my screen. Just a moment. Everything okay?
Yes.
So thank you for the opportunity once again, dear ladies and gentlemen. It is really my greatest pleasure being here and having opportunity to present you with the key objectives and main points of the strategy of digital transformation of Slovenian tourism. In recent years, the Slovenian Tourist Board has taken important steps in the field of digitalization of promotion, marketing and communication. This was necessary as the habits of tourists have changed and they largely take place through digital channels now. At the same time, we saw the need also for a faster digital transformation of the entire tourism industry and for strengthening the skills of tourism employees in this area. What we are witnessing here is an extremely fast digitalization of business processes. Digital transformation in tourism is therefore necessary as it can contribute to achieving higher added value. That's why the Slovenian Tourist Board began to prepare the strategy for the digital transformation of Slovenian tourism, and it was created at the same time as the current overall tourism strategy, which is why both strategies are closely connected with each other. Important is to say that the strategy was being prepared from October 2021 to March this year in partnership with external contractors from the Center of Business Excellence of the School of Economics and Business in Ljubljana and the Howard Company from Vienna. I will briefly outline what is this presentation, it will cover. I will first briefly explain why we decided to write the strategy for the digital transformation of Slovenian tourism and continue by explaining why we are currently in the area of tourism 2.0. This will be followed by presenting the conceptual model of digital transformation. To understand why the digital transformation has been necessary, I will also talk about the digital maturity of Slovenian tourism before moving on to the detailed presentation of the digital transformation. On the end, I will sum up some general thoughts about the strategy. So the technology has been a driving force of economic development for many years now. And since tourism is not an island, but one integral part of the economy, we must adapt. When preparing the digital transformation of Slovenian tourism, we drew on the industry, which is far ahead of us. Here we can see the stages of industry in development, and we can see that the industry is currently in the fourth stage, which means we talk about industry 4.0. If we transfer this to tourism, we can see that we are in the area in tourism 2.0. And when I say that, I don't speak only about Slovenia, but about the wider European area. And why we are currently in the phase 2.0. So the main reason is the lack of understanding of the digital transformation process. We have to be aware that digitalization is a process which will happen with or without us. If we do not adapt, it will run us over. Huge technology companies, also like Booking.com, Airbnb, which have a background from other industries, have entered the tourism industry and brought along the change and the challenges, which were not always easy to overcome or beneficial for the tourism. They have transformed the tourism industry, which is why it is crucial to be ready. So we are currently in the phase when we need more knowledge, more investments, more cooperation, as well as adaptation of the legalization, since the public data we currently have is not efficient for the requirements. This is exactly why the Slovenian Tourist Board has taken the plunge into this challenging area and prepared an extensive strategy. In order to better understand the process of the digital transformation and to start implementing it, we once again use the knowledge that was created in the field of industry. We adapt the study that was made in Germany. When thinking about the conceptual model of digital transformation, the main thing we have to ask ourselves is why we want it and what we want to achieve with it. The key here is to clearly define the goals, and then there are 4 key elements that we need to take into consideration. First of all, we need resources, which include equipment and people who have digital competence to implement this change. Then we need an information system based on the data, which can be processed. It means that the data needs to be in a digital form. It needs to be connected, clear and transparent in order to be able to take this data and interrupt them and make predictions for the future. Only this will result in the automatization of the process. Organizational structure and culture are software elements, but they are absolutely necessary. Regarding the organizational structure, it is necessary to include the profiles that will be competent to introduce changes, and by culture we mean above all mentality that must be favorable to digital transformation. Moving on to the digital maturity of Slovenian tourism. Our research has shown that we are in the beginning of the process. We analyzed 4 fields from different perspectives and rate them from 1 to 5. Many Slovenian stakeholders, destination companies were included in the research, which ensured an inclusive approach of the proposed solution. I will point out the most intriguing findings that this research has shown. Slovenian tourism companies invest less than 1% of their budget into digital transformation, which is absolutely too little. Approximately 90% of tourism companies do not have any IT departments or persons, neither they have digital strategies. And 60% of the companies do not collect any data at all. But not everything is negative. The positive thing is that 10% of all organizations, public or private, have participated in a certain educational training in the field of digitalization, and that over 40% are in the process of preparing a digital strategy or already having one. Moving to the strategy. What is our vision? Our vision is that Slovenia will become a leader in the digital transformation in tourism and also stimulate the development of sustainable, boutique, and personalized and innovative tourism experiences. This is also in line with the general Slovenian tourism strategy, which represents the basic framework for the development of Slovenian tourism in the next 7 years. And the initiatives of the digital transformation strategy have been also integrated as one of the policies in the overall strategy. Our mission is to empower tourism stakeholders for data-based decision-making, stimulate sustainable transformation, ensure competitiveness and resilience, increase economic added value from tourism, offer personalized, tailor-made experiences, empower employees with digital skills, and ensure high quality of life for local residents. Our aim was to make strategy as functional as possible and also tangible. This is why we have defined 4 strategic areas and 17 initiatives. 4 strategic areas are smart management, advanced marketing and sales, smart business solutions, and competitive workforce. All these areas are also, as I said, incorporated in the general Slovenian tourism strategy. Within the smart management, we have 6 initiatives or measures. I will focus on second one, the National Marketing Intelligence Hub, where initial steps have already been taken by Slovenian Tourist Board. All other measures within the strategy area of smart management are closely connected with it. It is vital to highlight that in connection with this area, the strategy has online that Slovenian Tourist Board, we need a special reorganization to gain new competent employees that will be able to deal with the challenges that the digital transformation brings. So what is the National Marketing Intelligence Hub and what is it all about? This is a unique data collection center specialized in tourism, which focuses on advanced data collection and processing. It aims to provide the basic for monitoring of data-driven decision and results in highly effective marketing activities. Of course, everything starts with analysis of local and global data, which is collected from various sources. This is followed by advanced proceeding based on artificial intelligence in order to provide a comprehensive overview of various trends and supply and demand in the global and local tourism market. The outcome will be a national dashboard, which can be used for forecasting, marketing segmentation, reporting, or comparative analysis, which tourist destination and companies can use as well. At the same time, companies and destination are all also share their data. This is very important. If I explain it on example, also our National Marketing Intelligence Hub will, for example, enable us to enter all the public holidays and school holidays of our key markets. And by doing so, we will be able to predict the peaks of arrival, traffic jams, and to better plan our marketing activities in future. Moving to advanced marketing and sales, which include 4 initiatives or measures: Slovenian tourism marketplace, experience creator, green token, and co-marketing platform. We will focus here on the initiative 7, the Slovenian tourist e-marketplace. What is Slovenian tourism e-marketplace? This is a booking exchange platform that enables the creation of national, regional, local tourist booking system. This is actually a non-stop shop which ensures integrated sales channels, reduced distribution costs, effective marketing activities, improved visibility of the offer, and inclusion of all stakeholders. And what are the expected benefits or positive effects of the marketplace? Marketplace will offer a wider choice and overview and availability of destination experiences on one place, enable easy and safe reservation and purchase process, and ensure a better user experience for the guests. The offer will be distributed over many distribution channels. This will reduce costs and increase productivity. On the other hand, the guests will have a complete overview of the available capacities, and on the other hand, also providers will be able to carry out effective digital marketing and CRM campaigns, and according to this also develop new products. Such approach is already conducted by many tourist boards such as UK, USA, Spain, and also many others. Smart business solutions are connected with the funding of digital solutions from the state. There are already several existing tenders on the market, but it's important to highlight that a special emphasis needs to be given also to the digital solution and intangible assets which needs to be properly evaluated and included in these tenders. This will enable tourist companies to buy equipment and technologies which will help them to improve user experiences, for example. As I mentioned also before, only 1% of the budget within the tourism sector industry is given to the digital solutions. This is, like I said before, not enough, and national funding and tenders will definitely help improve this. Last, among the strategies areas, but not the least, is the competitive workforce. Within this area, we have 5 initiatives: IT tour event, digital competence voucher, digital know-how, promotion of jobs of the future, and the Slovenian Tourist Board Academy. Within this area, I will focus on digital competence voucher, which will be meant for our staff and employees. At this point, let me also to say a few words about IT Tour event, an event that will be held for the first time this year as part of the Days of Slovenian Tourism on 16th of November, as a result also of this strategy. The purpose of the event will be to show the digital transformation as a long-term process of the development and progress, which is linked to the goals of the sustainable transition. The IT Tour is also an opportunity to exchange experiences, acquire new knowledge, and learn about successful digital solutions. Further on, now I will focus to the digital competence voucher, will increase digital competence. This is a tool which will enable companies and destinations to co-finance the education and increase digital competence of employees. It will be aimed at training employees at all levels: operations, marketing, sales, management, both at home and abroad. The value of the voucher will be determined according to the size of the organization and the organization that participate in the education process can be rewarded with a higher level of co-financing. Co-financing will be repeated on an annual basis. So the program plans also to promote new professions in the field of the tourism. So before summing up, I would like to highlight the quantitative and qualitative goals of this strategy. Let me start with the quantitative goals. Our goals are to allocate minimum 5 million euro for digital transformation until 2026. Establish the National Information Center operated by the Slovenian Tourist Board as a national board. Establish 5 macro destination dashboards, which will operate within the National Information Center. Employ 20% of tourism workforce directly. This is related to those who complete an educational program in the field of digital education in tourism. We aim to have 50% of hotel capacities included in the Green Hotel Index, 25% of tourist companies and 75% of leading destinations included also in the index of the digital transformation of Slovenian tourism. And we aim to have at least 500 tourist providers included in the Slovenian tourist marketplace. Quantitative goals are to promote data-supported decision-making, take care the superb guest satisfaction, use digital tools to create tailor-made experiences, ensure high quality of life of locals, take care that digital marketing and sales solution will run smoothly, and finally increase the global visibility of Slovenia as a model destination in the field of digital transformation. So the digital transformation is not a goal in itself, but it's a mechanism for greater resilience, greater quality, greater added value, and more satisfied guests. So to sum up, I would like to explain why the digital transformation strategy of Slovenian tourism has been prepared as a separate document and was not part of the general strategy of Slovenian tourism. Like I said before, with the digital transformation strategy, it is important to be precise about the goals and aims that we want to achieve. And by identifying those 4 key areas and 17 initiatives or measures, this is exactly what we did. This is also the reason why we decided to prepare 2 separate documents and not let the digital transformation become only one of the areas to cover within the general strategy. But we rather wanted it to become a complementary document, the main support for our all sustainable oriented goals that we want to achieve in the future. So I really hope to be back in few years and explain about our achievement. And I hope then I will be able to say that we succeeded. Slovenia has become one of the most digitally advanced tourism destinations. Thank you for listening to me. If you have any further questions, I will be glad to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the presentation. Maybe just a very brief question at the end. You have some expectations, and where do you think, which part will be the easiest one and which will be the hardest part of the strategy? So where do you expect more or less cooperation with the companies, with the economy?
We have different fields opened now. On the one hand, we have to work very closely together with destination and with companies, and we have to persuade them that they will be very active also in participating to collect and to share data. Only with their cooperation, we will be able to make a qualitative marketing intelligence hub and to have qualitative information that can be data-based decision-making in the decision-making processes. On the other hand, we have many open things with the legalization of accessing some public data to use real-time data for predictions as well. So I hope that everyone will understand the need for moving on with the digital transformation. So every important data is actually very necessary. If one important thing is missing in digitalization, data is everything. If something is missing, the whole process is not running smoothly, and so I hope we will succeed on all fields.
Thank you all very much once again. I think we are of this almost the same opinion. What is very important, and maybe this is also the reason and the topic of our next speaker, Mr. Dominik Wörz, who is co-founder of the AlpLytcs company. He is expert in the management and communication and IT. And concerning his education, his master thesis was big data analytics in tourism. So data collection and how to use the data on the regional level, on the level of the company is our next topic. So I would like to welcome Mr. Wörz to share his knowledge with us a little bit. Yes, thank you.
Hi, everybody. Aleksandra, thank you very much. Great introduction into the upcoming topic. So really looking forward to it. Let me just share my presentation. Perfect. Is everybody able to see the presentation?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So as already mentioned, my name is Dominik Wörz. I'm the co-founder of AlpLytcs. Yeah, and after this introduction, I would like to take you on a journey about data. And more in detail, I would like to talk about the potential of big data, especially in the field of tourism. I already dig a little bit deeper, and we use the data for strategic data analysis, taking one model, which I will explain more in detail afterwards. But first, let's get a short overview about data, about innovation and technologies where we gather data. For example, we are aware of social media. Social media have been one of the big innovations about the last decade, but is still one big innovation about the last years, months, and also weeks. Current innovation is taking place in those fields. We are able to share data all the time, all day long, with our friends, with our families, and so on. Data about where we are. We are sharing pictures, sharing information maybe about vacations, where we are going, which is big in tourism. We like to share information, and this means also we like to share data. Technologies like cloud computing, for example, also is a big enabler of it. It gives us connectivity 24 hours a day and is always available to get the information wherever we want it, whenever we want it. So those innovation and technology play a big part. For example, data about the weather, or data where we are, or data about tourists. For example, in tourism, we're gathering currently data, how many people are in our destination, which people are in destination, where are they coming from, how long will they stay in our destination. And all those three parts, innovation, technology, are enabling us to data. And also data in small machine data, for example, will give us small information of how machines are working. And especially in tourism and in the industry, those field is very interesting. Maybe a short background information about how data will be gathered. IoT, Internet of Things, is a big buzzword in this topic. This gathers small data of machines and already, as I already mentioned, about tourists in the fields. And this makes big data. So when many information of different topics come together, will give us a big cloud. Big data is buzzed in the cloud. And this enables us in the next step maybe to get it smart, give it an idea, give it a sense, and gather smart data. There has been a big development in the last years, enabling smart services out of it. And also at least smart data in tourism, which enables us destination management and also a buzzword called smart tourism. And how was the development from big data? We called data is currently, big data can be visualized as a big cloud. Data is already stored maybe on local devices or, as mentioned, in cloud, available everywhere. So data is stored in small silos, as the points vanish on these pictures. But what's missing in big data, there are large amounts of data, will be the next step to get this data smart. So give the data a sense. So when we know, okay, we have the information about the tourism area, for example, okay, the restaurant has opened today and I would like to go for dinner in this. Smart makes this data that the restaurant is open, that I would like maybe to have, I prefer Italian dishes. So smart makes the data with my knowledge, with my insight in this whole idea that I want to go for dinner this afternoon. So the data, big data, delivers me the information, okay, an Italian restaurant is open. Smart makes the data that I will go to this restaurant, and the insight is that I like the food. And this combination will get us also in future more insights about other people, maybe with similar knowledge or with similar activities they like. And there comes smart data into the game. Smart data in tourism will also be called the intelligent tourism. tourism digitalized, tourism in an intelligent way. For example, I know about my customers in the destination, that they are available through digital ways. I can offer my information, as we already had the example with restaurants, that my restaurant is open, maybe via Google Maps, or my restaurant is only about 1 kilometer away from your current destination, so come to my place. So, and also there comes other parts into it, like what the people prefer into it. And also this gives us experiences we need for those smart tourism development we're having. And this brings us to the core elements about this kind of smart tourism. A big part within smart tourism is already the before called data. Data will be collected, exchanged, and already processed. So as we gather more information, on the one side, what is happening in our smart destination? So what is availability, which accommodation, which transportation, which attractions we're having, also about more information about the gastronomy, but also the experiences of our customer, maybe of the traveler. They would gather those information not only during the travel, but also before. So the information has to be available for them at all time, before the travel, during the travel, and after the travel. And this all gives us the picture for smart tourism, giving people or delivering people all this data, all this information, all the insights we already know in a correct way. But how can we work with all those informations gathered in boxes? And the thing we are doing as AlpLytcs is we're using a so-called CRISP model, which is the cross-industry standard process model for data mining. This was used by a lot of companies, a lot of big companies throughout the last decades already, because it has various fields to for those applications. It is not only used for machinery data, or it's also used for open data, because it's various and it has many fields we can adopt in. I will explain later on a little bit more detailed. The next field will be, what can we do with this data? For example, in this case, we use machine learning and artificial intelligence to get either recommendation or forecasting. Also, descriptive statistics will give us an insight in what has happened in the past, which data was interesting, how many people have been in my destination, where are the people coming from, what are they doing, what attractions have been the most favorite of their part. And the CRISP data mining model is one of the most used in those fields of data analysis, because of the first part, the business understanding and the data understanding. Those are, let's say, the most important parts, and that's what makes this model good for for various applications or for various fields of usage. The business understanding in this first topic is all about understanding your business. What are your needs? How are you working in your company? Who's responsible for those things? Who will get which insights? And this compared with data understanding, so getting a feeling about, hey, this data I can use in my company. This data might be interesting to get from an open source device. And how to connect my business data with other data, or how to use properly my data I already gathered, because we have a few new ideas to bring in to get your optimum out of the data. And then the next steps are more about preparing the data and getting the correct model. And while using all those different states of this model, you can already hop around. And if you say at the end, oh, there is some new data coming in, you can go back and understand it. Will this data work for my business properly? Will it give an added value or something like this? And then you can see, okay, it's interesting to give it a part into my model. This brings us to the next topic, which is machine learning. This plays a big part in the CRISP DM model, but also just at the end. This is mainly the most interesting part for all of us. And this brings us especially into the world of analytics. This is what a deep dive into analytics. This makes our data speak. It develops our data, and it brings the things we want to know from our data. Maybe like forecasts are a common thing. We would like to know how will my product or my tourism product, for example, how will investigations in strategic fields, how will they work in the future? What will it bring to me? Will more people come, or will it just be an additional investment for me, which I'm not sure if the people are really coming to this? And what's also interesting beside of the forecast are prediction, and also afterwards the evaluation of those prediction. Are those working properly? Also, as we mentioned in the presentation before, marketing activities, how marketing activities are worked. Can I more precise my activities in those fields? And also like maintenance in the production, is there any improvement I can take in those fields? So all in this analytics world, there are various fields you can detect and you can use for your help, for the help of your company, or for the help of your destination. Maybe also recommendation systems are a buzzword in this field. And more about discussing potential use cases are, for example, we had, like we are in the tourism industry now, a use case where tourists are coming into my destination for the last, let's say, 5 years, and we know already attractivities within our area. So therefore, maybe we have already gathered some data, and through analysis those data, we might be able to get behavioral patterns in different clusters, maybe like countries or age groups, which might be one of the interesting or most interesting use cases for the beginning to gather out of already sustainable data. Or we can also adjust offers accordingly to the data, what the insights from the past gave us. So we say, okay, we need more places in the future to go into museums, or just forecasting how many people are going there. Also, other open source data might be very important for analyzing, because they are also influencing behavioral patterns of the people. Because imagine the weather is not good in a destination, for example. Not a lot of people would go on the mountains for a hike, or would go for a bike session in these days. They would also more likely go to museums, go to the pool, to swimming indoor pools, and get other offers. And with analysis, we can focus on, okay, that might be possible. Together with maybe traffic data or weather data, there can be a calculated forecast for the next few days based on already available data and open data. And this brings us to a big part in this whole topics, which is data-driven planning of investments. So everybody is doing investments and hoping to get the most out of it. But in most of the cases, we do not have that much data to give 100% sure, but we would like to offer a guidance how a data-driven purpose can enable those things. And also a digital environment, like we called in the beginning with a sensor technology, social media, as you can see on the left side, gathers data, and also maybe tourist cards, information about what is the tourist doing in our area. Gather us more and more information. The important thing is about capturing those data and visualizing them, preparing these data and evaluate these data in the way the people, the decision maker can understand it. Evaluations for industry comparison, maybe already mentioned the behavioral patterns, maybe it's also break down to the travel types to countries. But also social media data, social media analysis. How did we perform via social media? How will we be recognized? Are we recognizing ourselves the same as we do in the social way? And many more fields. One of the interesting projects is, of course, strategic decisions. Big questions there are, how am I able to invest properly? The intensity. So we made a dashboard for Upper Austria on the project, how tourism intensity is working. Why is it working different in every location they are having? What can we gather, or what information are we preparing, and what can we gather out of the information? Should we change a development in the regional strategies, or should we renew our strategy based on a data-driven purpose? But those are all questions, yeah, we can speak on sessions later on maybe. Yeah, and let's explore your data. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much, Dominik. Very interesting topics. As you mentioned, we could be speaking about this topic for quite a long time.
Definitely.
And we also had the conclusion from the first speaker today that, yeah, the future is such one that we expect a lot of investments in the information and the use of the information, because this is going to be very important. So today we are not having just lectures, we are also having B2B events. So maybe very pragmatical questions. Yeah, what cooperations do you see on the international level from your point of view, from your company? So what partnership do you expect? What will happen in the future? What we are looking for, maybe? This is the basic information.
Yeah, so data speaks a whole story, I would say, and therefore it might be very interesting. In the first thing, we are already giving workshops about what data does a company have and how we can work with the data. What can we guarantee maybe out of those data, and how is the structure of the data? Because there are already two sides. It's one side, the open data, which is available on time everywhere, like the weather information, local information about traffic, and so on and so on. And then there is a big part what the companies can bring into us, also small insights into their social media accounts or analytics data, also about websites and so on. It always depends on the company, what does it want. So there are many different topics we can gather. Maybe one of the easiest will already be dashboarding for website analysis. Is the website working properly? Can we optimize it based on data, based on the insights we already gathered? But also in the other field, are there more machine data they can gather? For example, tourism destinations, they have data sometimes they are aware of about their guests, and therefore maybe justify clusters, recommendations for different clusters, see how people will work, and what information can we go or get in a deeper insight into it.
Thank you very much. I think it was interesting. I hope we will also establish some contacts between you and the partners from other countries, including Slovenia. Thank you once again, and we're coming to our third case. So we are going deeper and deeper. So we have as our next guest, Mr. Alberto Riva, who is co-founder of the Bikesquare, and yeah, the main topic of the speech will be actually of the presentation will be management of a cyclo-tourism with e-bikes. I think something that is topic which is developing very fast, which is daily present nowadays. Maybe just a few words of about Mr. Alberto Riva. yeah, he's a co-founder of the Bikesquare startup for advanced solutions for cyclo-tourism, destination marketing, and sustainable mobility. And yeah, the topics he's working also on are the plans for commuting from homework, customers' relationships, implementing mobility solutions, and so on. So yeah, I know a little bit about your project because you had a very good presentation for the members of the tourism sector group at the Enterprise Europe Network. So I would be very glad if you could share this information also with the rest of the participants, and I think it will be a very interesting topic. Please, the floor is yours, Mr. Riva.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for having me. I will share my screen just to show you my presentation. Is it all right? Do you see my presentation and see me?
Yes.
Okay, so I will start presenting Bikesquare. I'm Alberto Riva. I'm one of the co-founders. And I will tell you something about Bikesquare. We have B2B and B2C solutions for cycle tourism with the e-bike. As you can see on the claim, easy rent cycling fun. We have solutions both for businesses and for tourists. We have some experience in both scenarios, and I will just go deep inside this presentation. As you can see, the first image is our place where we were founded. We are in Langhe. It's in the northwest of Italy, in Piedmont. And as you can see, it's a place of vineyards, and the countryside is hilly. So the e-bike is very useful to work with this kind of tourist. I will go deep inside. We work with a platform. And our platform is based on a website and an app for smartphone. What we always say is that we are not just an e-bike rental company. We are selling experiences for e-bike cycle tourism. It's not. I mean, the important thing is not the e-bike, the equipment we use. The important thing is the experiences we sell to our tourists, which is the most important thing. How do we do this? With our free for Android and iOS application, we have GPS tracks and routes for the tourist, and along the tracks, the tourist can use points of interest, which are both business and public places. Businesses because the experiences are offered by wineries, restaurants, B&Bs, hotels, and so on. And public places because every step of these tours are surrounded with great landscapes, castles, places to visit, and something nice to see. The SAT navigator allows the people to know where they are along the route, and every user has its own private login to see their routes, what they visited, and what they can visit in the future. Our main target are people who like wandering by bike. We usually don't work with trained people. We are not working with sport. We are not working with people who want adrenaline. As you saw in the picture before, you were seeing that people were cycling to discover a destination, and they want to stay outdoor. They want to visit in a slow mode the destination, and this is a segment of the market which is growing very, very, very fast. In the last years, the electric bike allowed a lot of people to visit places that usually were impossible for not sporty and not trained people. Our target also wants to meet local people during their holidays. So we provide these experiences to meet not only the products of the destinations, but also the people who make the products. For example, our place in Langhe, in Piedmont, is famous for the Barolo wine, Barbaresco wine, for the white truffle. There is the International Truffle Fair in Alba every autumn. And people usually come here to meet how these products are made. And the bicycle, as I was saying earlier, the bicycle is just a tool to visit this kind of places and to make these experiences. And of course, people want to taste local food and wine products in all of the destinations we have. The segments of this market are made mostly of families, and this is not so was not so easy to say at the beginning, because when we started, everybody wanted to work with individual travelers or with those people who want to make long holidays by bike. We usually work with people who are on destinations for other reasons, and they just take the bike for one day, half day, a couple of days. It's not the bicycle holiday, but it's the family holiday who decide that one day they will use a bicycle, an e-bike, to visit the destination. Then we work even with free individual travelers, the FITs, and with small groups, usually up to 20 people, because with bicycles, it's not so easy to have very, very large groups. Both because it's not easy to find e-bike rentals with a lot of bikes, and because it's easier on the road to have at least maximum 20 people. We work even with MICE, team building, incentive, business, and bachelorette parties. This is always something very fun to do for us and for the tourists as well. It's a segment that is growing a lot in this segment. Again, in this picture, you can see the kind of people we work with. So as you can see, they are not dressed like a cyclist. They have no fancy bikes or something. They are just wanting to visit the place in a really, really easy way. How does the business model work? The most important thing is the network. The destinations network is made by people. People is the most important thing. We can have the fanciest e-bikes in the world, but if we don't have people who work properly on the destination, Bikesquare is not working and tourism is not working. Every destination, every Bikesquare destination needs a Bikesquare area manager. I will go deep in detail later. Bikesquare area manager, at least one e-bike rental point, but they can be more than one. And at least 10 local partners. The local partners can be restaurants, hotels, B&Bs, wineries, local producers of food and wine, and even local guides or tour operators, or any experience we can sell to our tourists. What does the Bikesquare area manager do? The Bikesquare area manager is our local reference. So we're not as a transnational company that makes millions of euros of investments and comes with hundreds of e-bikes and put external people on a destination. We work with local people. Our Bikesquare area manager is the manager of the fleet of the e-bikes. So it's the one who receives the reservations and acts like a proxy for these reservations in his destination. The BAM is also the one who designs the cyclo-tourism routes and experiences. That's why we want to work with local people, because it's only local people who know the territory, who know what's interesting to visit in that area. From a remote location like the place where I am right now, it's difficult for me to design a tourist route in a destination that I don't really know. So that's important for us to work with the local people. The BAM also engages the destination's local partners. It's the one who looks for interesting restaurants, hotels, wineries, and so on. Just because he is the one who knows the destination and knows which kind of experiences the tourists may like on that destination. And there is also an option for the BAM to be a franchisee or an independent business. We have two business models. One, it's real franchising option, and the other one is the independent business. We usually suggest the franchising option for the ones who are starting from scratch. So if you want to open a new Bikesquare destination and you have never worked in cycle tourism, the best option is the franchising model. The independent business are usually businesses that are already working and that are in operation since more time, and they just want to add the Bikesquare model to their business model. The e-bike rental points are distributed across the destination, so they can be one or more than one, and usually the BAM is the main rental point, but not necessarily. Then the bikes can stay can be placed at the local partners' places. So we may have a destination with some e-bike rental points and hotels with bikes, for example. And then the bikes can stay at some strategic places. So, for example, railway stations or tourist information offices. We have some experience with both of these solutions, and it's very a good option because we can reach a lot more tourists coming from these strategic places on the destination. Then we have the local partner network. These are the main asset of the destination because they are the partners who invent the experiences for the tourist, and these local partners can be accommodation, hotels, B&Bs, campings, and so on, restaurants, places for wine or local product tasting, and points of interest or events or sightseeing points. These are the most important thing for the network, because if we don't have these experiences, we just have an e-bike rental business, which is very, very easy. It's very easy to start a e-bike rental system. It's much more difficult to create an experience network on the destination. Which are the competitive advantages for Bikesquare? One of these advantages is that you have a new channel if you start with Bikesquare, and so you have more e-bike rentals. You have more visibility for cycle tourism because we are a network of, we will see later, over 39 destinations across Italy, Spain, and our goal is to spread across Europe our business model. Then we have this international network of e-bike experiences, and because every destination has its own specific characteristics, but everywhere we can make some experiences with e-bikes. Then we are always updating tours and routes, and it's very easy to do, and it's a very, very easy platform. We will see some screenshot later. And then we work with online and offline marketing. We have a lot of templates available for local businesses, and it's much easier to start with a template than to invent everything from scratch. Other advantages, more reasons to choose Bikesquare, are that we are attending national and international tourism exhibition. Obviously, for logistic reasons, we always are in Italian tourism exhibitions, but we attended also exhibitions in Germany, in Spain, and other places across Europe. We are always delivering updates to the platform, both the website and the application. We have 8 years experience in cycle tourism, so we are working and we can, spread this knowledge we acquired during the years, and we work with national and international tour operators. Why is it important to build strong local network. It's important because the BAM and the local partners share their customers. If I rent bikes and you have a hotel, for me it's easier to reach your tourists if you are in my network, because, for example, the receptionist can proactively tell the customers that they can rent the e-bikes, and it's much easier for me to get more e-bike rental. And for the hotel or for the restaurant, it's easier to get new customers because the one who come to the destination for the e-bike, they have to sleep somewhere, they have to make some experiences, so it's much easier to share the customer base. Then each and everyone works at what they can do best. So we don't ask people to become an e-bike rental if their work is the hotel reception, and we don't ask restaurants to be hotels. Everyone just make their work, they do that at their best, and when you are inside the network, it's much easier and worthy to work together. And then when the destination is bike friendly, everything works more and better because it's an easy way to make tourism with the e-bike. How does the customer come from where do they come from? They can come from three main channels. The usual local offline channel, the so-called walk-ins. So every business has its own historical customer base, and they can still use that with the added value of the Bikesquare platform. Then they can come from the Bikesquare platform, from the website or from the application, or they can come from the local partners, from phone, web, or app. These again are our tourists with the smartphone because they are following a route on the application. And I will show you something about the B2C platform, the platform they were using to visit the destination. This is the homepage of the website, and you can start from where you want to go, or the type of activity, or the destination where you want to cycle. In this platform, both on the web and on the app, people can visit the web and the app, and they find routes, points of interest, and in e-bike rental form. The form is important because asks questions for e-bike rental, like the height of each participant to know the size of the bike to reserve, and the place where they want the bike delivered. Where we are working, we are now in more than 38 destinations across Europe. As you can see, there are a lot of points here in Italy because we are working here we have been working in Italy for much more time, but we also have places across Spain, and we are trying to work in Slovenia as well, but across Europe at all. What does the Bikesquare e-bike experience look like? It looks like this application where we will have more screenshots about the tours, where you can see both in the app and in the website the cover image, the GPS track. Now here it's very small, but on the app obviously you will see it much greater, and you can see your own position on the track. The POIs, the points of interest, and the points of interest, as I was saying earlier, they are both public places to visit or commercial businesses to make experience. You have the description of the tour, so what you can do and what is available along the tour. The experiences you can have, and a gallery of images just to be invited to visit the place. How to make a reservation, how to book your experience. It's a simple 6 steps booking wizard where we ask when people want to cycle, how many bikes, which add-ons. The add-ons are, for example, the child seat or the trailer for the children, because one of our main targets is families. So it's important to have these add-ons for families. Then the participants' data, which are the height for the size of the bikes, and where does the customer want the bikes delivered. So they can come to our e-bike rental point, or we can deliver the bikes with a van to the hotel or to the accommodation place. And then simple data like email and telephone number, just to be contacted for the confirmation of the reservation. Then we have the B2B platform. We developed the B2B platform because the first year, when we just had one e-bike rental point and 400 rentals in 1 year, it was easy with an Excel spreadsheet. Then it became impossible to manage our network. So with our team of developers, we developed the B2B platform. This is the website, the B2B version of the website, where we explain something about our managing cyclo-tourism platform. The rental manager is a tool to manage reservations, fleet administrations, and analytics. And here it's very important to link this part of the presentation with my two predecessors on the presentations, because it's very, very important to have data about the rental situation of your business. And you can access this rental manager from every device connected to the internet, so you don't have any software to be installed. And you can see real-time inquiries and availability of the bikes. You can have Telegram notifications to see when people make reservation and reply in short time to the customers. And there is the management of all the commissions among the partners. We will talk later about the money business model about this. And obviously you can see some analytics of how your business is working. So you can see your e-bike rentals according to the nationality, if they rented the bike half day, full day, where did they want the bike, and so on. So it's a very complete rental manager platform. This is one of the screenshots of the reservations. You can see they have different colors, if they are confirmed, if they are received, if they still have to be managed, if they are cancelled. So this is a screenshot of the smartphone version of this web app, but you can access this even from a tablet or a laptop or desktop computer. Then we developed a GPS device. The GPS device is something we install on the e-bikes, and it's a simple tool to know where the bikes are in every moment. So you can see the real-time position of the bikes. You can remotely turn on and off the engine. So if you have a distributed fleet of e-bikes, it's interesting to keep the bikes with the engine off if they are not booked. So if you have, I don't know, 40 e-bikes and 20 are in your e-bike rental place and 10 are at a hotel, you don't see who is using the bikes at the hotel, but you can be sure that if the engine is off, you can turn on the bike only if you have a confirmed reservation. So it's much safer for the investment you made to buy the bikes. Then you can see the battery charge. If it's not charged and if you have the reservation, you receive a notification that tells the local partner to have the bike charged during the night, so the tourist can use the bike during the day. And then analytics about the use and the maintenance of the bike. This is a small screenshot of the Chianti region in Tuscany, where the bikes were used last weekend, and you can see the tour they had with the GPS device. This is another landscape. As you can see, it's a family with a small child on the back seat. And we usually work along these kind of tours with gravel, but not very technical or single track tours. How how does the cost and revenue business model work? We have some simple and easy costs and revenues. First, the e-bike rental point spends a little bit less than 40 euros per month to have the B2B and the B2C platform, where they can use both the part with the tours, routes, and the things that are interesting for the tourist, and the B2B platform, which is the bike rental manager I was talking to you earlier. 1990 per month is every local partner. So if you are a restaurant, hotel, B&B, the cost is 19.90 euros per month, and every BAM receives 50% commission on all local partners subscribed. This is important because, as I was saying at the beginning, we have to reward every actor of the network, because if you work properly, you must have some advantage. So it's important to have motivated partners. So it's not important to have the whole list of hotels of the region. We just need 3, 4, 6 hotels, but they must be motivated because they need to push the e-bike rental and experiences selling on the destination. 15% is the commission that Bikesquare keeps for rentals coming from the Bikesquare online platform. So if the tourists come from the platform, we keep 15%. But if the tourist is already on destination and the tourist reserves and make the reservation of the bike directly from the e-bike rental point, we don't keep any commission. 100% of the e-bike rental gain is for the e-bike rental place. And then 15% commission is for the local partners who send local customers to the e-bike rental point. Why is this important? It's important because for the hotel, it's not important only to have one more service of e-bike rental. It's important to have some money back for their investment, because they are much more motivated, and this makes a win-win situation where everybody have to gain something from this network. This is still an example of people who want to cycle on easy roads. And now I'm going to the end of the presentation. You can contact me for everything you need. You can scan this QR code to have my contact on your address book, and I would be very pleased to tell you something more about Bikesquare if you need it. And I'm just done with my presentation. If you have any questions, I'm available for anything. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much. A very interesting presentation, very detailed, I would say, with very concrete data. Maybe one basic question. You are a fast-growing company, and you already have some experience in going international. We could see it out of your map that you're already present in Spain. So maybe just a question, how hard is it for a startup going international? How much assistance, how much support do you need in these next steps?
It's very, I mean, the most difficult thing is the bureaucracy part of the internationalization, because I mean, it's already difficult to run a business in your own country where you know anything, you know who to ask for consultancy and everything. Imagine with a different language, with different fiscal regulations, with different legislations and everything. It's very, very hard to make it easier with the bureaucracy and everything, because as you saw from our business model, we are not only a online digital business, but we work a lot with the local businesses. So we have to go deep inside the local business models and the local business regulations, because it's not the same renting an e-bike in Spain or in Italy because of a lot of things. So it would be very, very easy to have the support from I don't know, the Chamber of Commerce or some network of businesses who can help us to go to a new market which we don't necessarily know properly.
Yes, thank you very much. It will be very interesting to hear from you next year, for example, to see how fast you will be growing internationally. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So, dear ladies and gentlemen, we came to the end of today's thematic lectures. I would like to thank you in the name of the organizer of the event. It is the Regional Development Agency Podravje Maribor. There are the partners of the Enterprise Europe Network and, of course, of the Pomurski Sejm Pomurje Fair, the organizer of the whole event. You are also very kindly invited to use the opportunity of B2B meetings we are offering to you, and I hope we can help you in developing further contacts. Thank you very much for your attendance and hope to see you again. Thank you and goodbye.